Today we're going to be doing a deep dive into a resource I found that I think a lot of people are going to find pretty useful, especially when it comes to their website.
Website's very important.
Yeah.
Everybody's got them these days. Where do you even start?
It can be super overwhelming, right? You've got your message, you've got your vision, but getting it all online, presented the right way, that's where it gets tricky.
Especially when it comes to hiring somebody to build that site for you.
So that's what this deep dive is all about. We're looking at this document. It's called 10 Must-Ask Questions. It's like a roadmap.
A checklist to make sure you're asking the right questions before you sign on the dotted line with a designer.
Because nobody wants to end up locked out of their own website. Right?
You want to make sure you're protected, you're in control, you're not going to get any nasty surprises down the road.
Exactly. And the very first question on this list is all about control. Who will purchase my domain name?
Super important. This is the foundation of your online presence.
Why is it such a big deal who buys it?
If your designer buys the domain name, they technically own it. And what happens if they disappear? Stop responding to your calls, decide to charge you some crazy fee to keep it.
They're stuck. What's the best way to avoid that mess?
Simple. Buy the domain name yourself. Use a reputable registrar. There's tons of them out there. GoDaddy, Namecheap. Do a little research, find one you like.
It's a pretty small investment in the grand scheme of things.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it could save you a ton of headaches down the road.
Okay, so that's question one, all about domain names. Question two, this one gets into what happens after the website is built. Will I be able to add to my website in the future?
Ah, yes. The power of updates. You don't want to be calling your developer every time you want to change a sentence or swap out an image, right? So this is where content management systems, CMS, come into play. Think WordPress, Wix, Squarespace. These are platforms that let you manage your website content yourself.
So it's like you have the keys to your own little digital kingdom.
Exactly. You're in control. You can make changes, add stuff, keep things fresh, all without having to go back to the developer.
Okay, that sounds way better. I will say I've tried some website builders in the past, and some of them were not exactly user-friendly.
Oh yeah, I hear ya. Some can be clunky for sure.
So any tips on how to spot a good CMS?
Definitely. First off, ask for a demo. Most of these platforms offer free trials or demos so you can get a feel for the interface. See how intuitive it is. Can you easily add blog posts, change images, edit text? Imagine you're launching a new product. Can you create a page for it, add the pictures, write a snappy description, all without tearing your hair out? Moving on to question number 3. This one is all about the techie stuff.
Will the website have custom coding? This one always sparks a debate.
And for good reason. There are pros and cons to both sides.
So break it down for us. Custom coding, what's the appeal?
With custom coding, you get ultimate flexibility. It's like having a tailor-made suit perfectly fitted to your needs. You can create unique features, designs, functionalities, anything you can dream up.
Sounds pretty awesome. But there's got to be a downside, right?
The biggest downside is cost. Custom development is not cheap. You're paying for that specialized expertise. And it can also be trickier to find developers who can maintain that custom code down the line.
So you might get the perfect website, but it might come with a hefty price tag and some future maintenance headaches.
You gotta weigh those factors.
Yeah.
On the other side, you have those website builder templates. Templates are a great option if you're on a tighter budget or need a website up and running quickly.
Makes sense.
They offer pre-designed layouts and features. Think of it like buying a ready-made suit. It might not fit perfectly, but it'll get the job done.
So it's a faster, more affordable option, but you're limited in what you can do.
Exactly. You're stuck with the design options and the features that the template provides.
Okay, so custom coding for a bespoke experience, templates for affordability and speed. I guess it depends on what your priorities are. All right, question 4. This one's about where your website actually lives. Where will my website be hosted?
Ah, the real estate of the internet. Web hosting. This is essentially renting space on a server that's connected to the internet.
Okay, so it's like the physical location of your website.
You have a few options here, like shared hosting, VPS hosting, and dedicated hosting.
Break those down for me. What's the difference?
Shared hosting is the most affordable. It's like living in an apartment building. You share resources with other websites on the same server.
Makes sense.
Then you have VPS hosting, which is like a townhouse. You get more dedicated resources and more control. And then there's dedicated hosting, which is like having your own private estate. You have an entire server all to yourself.
Wow, okay, that sounds fancy. Dedicated hosting, that's for the big players.
Yeah, usually for websites with high traffic, high security needs, that kind of thing.
Okay, so shared is the budget-friendly option.
Yeah.
VPS is a step up, and dedicated is for the big leagues. I like those analogies. Helps me picture it.
Building on that, question 5, digs into the specifics of hosting. It asks, what should be included in hosting?
Because it's not just about the space, it's about what comes with it. Are utilities included?
Exactly. You want to know what you're getting for your money. Bandwidth determines how much data can be transferred between your website and visitors.
The size of the pipeline, bringing people to your site.
Then there's storage space for your website files, images, databases.
So bandwidth is the door, storage is the closet space.
You also want email accounts associated with your domain name, automatic backups, and robust security measures. Things like firewalls, malware scanning, all that stuff. Don't be shy about asking about those hidden costs.
Hidden cost? Like what?
Some hosts charge extra for SSL certificates, for example. You know those little padlock icons in your browser? Those show that a site is secure.
Oh, so you got to read the fine print, basically. Make sure
Right.
you know what's included and what's going to cost extra.
Exactly. Okay, question 6. This one is all about training. It asks, is there training on how to update my website?
Training. Okay. So even if I have a user-friendly CMS, it's still good to have some guidance.
Think about it. Even if you have the best car in the world, wouldn't it be nice to have someone show you how to drive it before you hit the road?
Yeah, true. A little instruction goes a long way.
Training empowers you to take control of your website, keep it updated, and it's a chance to ask questions, get personalized help from your designer.
All right, let's talk content. Question 7 asks, who creates the content for my
Website, the words, the images, the videos, all that stuff. You've got a few options here. If you're a good writer and enjoy it, you can definitely create your own content. But if you'd rather focus on other parts of your business or writing's just not your thing, you can always hire a professional copywriter.
Makes sense. Delegate to the experts.
And then there's the collaborative approach, where you work with the designer to brainstorm and develop content together. At the end of the day, what matters most is that you have high-quality, engaging content that speaks to your target audience.
Okay, question 8. This one looks ahead to the future a bit. Will I be able to call you in the future when I need help?
Websites need regular updates, maintenance, and sometimes things just break.
It's good to have that lifeline, someone you can call when you need help.
It's like having a trusty mechanic on speed dial for your digital vehicle. You want someone who's going to be there for you, who's responsive, who can solve problems quickly and efficiently.
Good communication, reliable support, definitely important. Now, let's talk about converting those website visitors into actual customers. Can my website have lead capture pages?
Lead capture pages, this is where the magic happens. This is how you turn casual visitors into potential leads, potential customers.
How do they work?
It's about offering something valuable in exchange for their contact info, like an ebook, a discount code, access to a webinar, something that's going to entice them to give you their email address. They get something valuable, and you get a lead to nurture. You can then send them emails, build a relationship, and hopefully turn them into a paying customer.
And finally, question 10. This one is all about the future. Can I add a shopping cart, learning platform, paid events, or other add-ons if I need to?
Scalability. You don't want to hit a wall as your business grows and evolves.
Exactly. So if I'm not selling products online now, but maybe I want to in the future, I need to make sure that my website can handle that.
Think of it like building a house with room to expand. You might not need that extra bedroom now, but it's good to know you have the option down the line.
Makes total sense. All right, so that wraps up the 10 questions. It's a lot to consider, but I think it's really valuable to go through this exercise before you even start talking to designers.
Absolutely. These questions are like your website blueprint. They help you define your needs, your priorities, and find a designer who's the right fit.
It's about making sure that you're building a website that's not just pretty, but functional, scalable, and truly reflects your vision.
So to our listeners, remember, your website is your online home. Ask these questions, do your research, and don't be afraid to speak up. It's your vision, your investment, your online success.